Chosen one, what if the very thing you have been questioning is the greatest act of my love toward you? What if every lonely night, every relationship that ended, every unanswered prayer, and every moment you wondered whether I had forgotten you was actually protecting a future you cannot yet see? Listen carefully, because what you are about to hear could change everything. Do not skip this message. If you leave now, you may miss the answer you have been praying for. I have watched every tear you tried to hide. I have heard every silent question you never spoke out loud. I know the moments when you smiled before others while your heart quietly whispered, "Lord, why am I still alone?" I was there. I never looked away for a single moment. You have asked me why doors kept closing. You have wondered why people walked into your life only to disappear. You have questioned why others seemed to move forward while you remained waiting. You thought the waiting was punishment. You believed the silence meant rejection. But today I am uncovering a truth that the enemy hoped you would never discover. You have measured my faithfulness by your relationship status, but I have never measured your worth that way. Before I ever prepared someone to walk beside you, I was preparing you to walk with me. That is the mystery many never understand until it is too late. There were conversations I kept you from hearing. There were invitations I did not allow you to accept. There were people who smiled at you while carrying intentions that would have wounded your heart. You called it disappointment. I called it protection. You called it delay. I called it mercy. You called it another painful ending. I called it the beginning of your healing. There is a reason your story has not looked like everyone else's. There is a reason your timeline has felt different. There is a reason you could not force what seems so easy for others. I have not been ignoring your desire. I have been guarding your destiny. Listen carefully. Many people rush into relationships because they cannot bear being alone. They seek another person to fill a place that only my presence was created to occupy. They mistake attention for love, chemistry for wisdom, and emotion for peace. Then they discover too late that what they called love slowly became the source of their deepest pain. I refuse to let that become your story. Even when you were frustrated with me, even when you wondered whether I was listening, even when you thought I had overlooked your prayers, my hand never left your life. I was doing work that your eyes could not see. The greatest miracles often begin in hidden places before they appear in public. The waiting has not only been about another person, it has been about your heart. I have been removing fears that you carried for years. I have been exposing wounds you buried beneath busy schedules and hopeful dreams. I have been teaching you that your identity cannot be built upon another person's acceptance. Until you understand who you are in me, every relationship will ask from you what only I can provide. That is why I have been calling you closer. When everyone else left, I remained. When your plans failed, I remained. When your expectations collapsed, I remained. When you questioned whether your future would ever change, I remained. My presence has been the one constant through every season of your life, even when you struggled to recognize it. Do not mistake my silence for my absence. A seed buried beneath the ground appears forgotten, yet that hidden season is where life begins. In the same way, I have been growing strength, wisdom, discernment, patience, and spiritual maturity inside you where no one else could see. The world teaches that being single means something is missing. But I tell you that many people surrounded by affection are still empty because they never allowed me to make them whole. Wholeness is not found by finding the right person. Wholeness begins when you surrender every broken piece of your heart into my hands. What I build lasts. What people rush often falls apart. There is wisdom in the seasons I choose for my children, even when those seasons are difficult to understand. Every delay that comes from my hand carries purpose. Every closed door carries protection. Every unanswered prayer carries hidden mercy that you may only recognize much later. If you have been asking why I kept you single all this time, the better question is this: what have I been preparing you for? That question changes everything. Because I do not prepare blessings carelessly. I prepare the person before I reveal the promise. I strengthen the foundation before I build the house. I teach the heart before I entrust it with greater responsibility. What feels slow to you is often my perfect timing unfolding one faithful step at a time. So open your heart now, because I am about to reveal why this season has been far more valuable than you ever imagined. And once you understand what I have been doing behind the scenes, you will never look at your waiting the same way again. The first lesson I want you to understand is that being single has never been the problem. The condition of the heart has always mattered more than the condition of your relationship. Many people spend years searching for someone to complete them because they have never allowed me to heal what is broken inside them. They believe another person's love will silence every fear, erase every insecurity, and remove every wound from the past. But no human being was created to carry that responsibility. That burden belongs to me alone. If I had given you the relationship you asked for before your heart was ready, you would have entered it carrying expectations that no one could ever fulfill. You would have looked to another person for peace that only my presence can give. You would have expected them to heal wounds that only I can restore. Instead of enjoying the relationship, you would have depended on it for your identity. That is why I slowed your journey. I knew what was hidden beneath the surface. Even when you believed you were ready, I saw the fears you had not yet surrendered. I saw the habits you did not recognize. I saw the emotional weight you continued to carry from disappointments you thought you had forgotten. I saw the silent battles you never told anyone about. Nothing has ever been hidden from me. Listen carefully. You have asked me to bless your future, but I first had to transform your present. There are prayers that sound good when they leave your lips, but they require preparation before they can be answered. When you asked me for lasting love, you were also asking me to shape your character. When you asked me for a peaceful home, you were also asking me to teach you patience. When you asked me for a faithful companion, you were unknowingly asking me to make you faithful in the quiet places where no one else was watching. This is why growth often feels lonely. The greatest changes in your life have not happened while everyone applauded you. They happened during the nights when no one knew you were crying. They happened when you chose forgiveness instead of bitterness. They happened when you decided to trust me after another disappointment. They happened when you kept praying even though nothing around you seemed to change. Those moments were never wasted. Every tear became part of your testimony. Every delay became part of your preparation. Every disappointment became a lesson that would one day protect your heart. You wondered why I allowed certain people to leave your life. Because not everyone who enters your life is meant to remain there. Some people arrive to teach you discernment. Some reveal the areas where you still need healing. Some expose the dangers of following emotions without wisdom. Others simply show you what happens when people build relationships without me at the center. You cried because they left. I was protecting you because they did. You mourned what ended. I rejoiced because I knew what would have happened if it had continued. You only saw today's heartbreak. I saw tomorrow's peace. There are things I protected you from that you will never fully understand on this side of eternity. There were conversations that could have manipulated you. Promises that would never have been kept. Smiles that hid selfish motives. Words that sounded loving but carried deception. I closed those doors because my love for you is greater than your understanding. Never believe that every closed door is a sign that I have abandoned you. Sometimes a closed door is my answer before disaster ever reaches your life. Think about how often you have thanked me for prayers I answered. Now imagine how many times you will thank me for prayers I refused to answer. That perspective changes everything. Many people become impatient because they compare their lives with everyone around them. Comparison steals gratitude. Comparison steals peace. Comparison blinds you to the miracles already taking place within your own life. You have looked around and wondered why others appeared to move ahead while you remained where you were. But you cannot compare journeys when you do not know the destination. The road I have chosen for you is different because the purpose I have placed upon your life is different. Some people are prepared quickly. Others require deeper foundations. A building that is meant to stand through storms must have a stronger foundation than one built only for appearance. I have not been preparing you for something temporary. I have been preparing you for something that can endure. That is why I have taken my time. Do not confuse my patience with delay. My timing is never careless. It is always intentional. There were seasons when you begged me to move faster. Yet if I had answered according to your schedule instead of my wisdom, you would have walked into circumstances that your heart was not strong enough to carry. So I waited. Not because I wanted to make you suffer, but because I loved you too much to give you something before you were ready to steward it. Understand this truth. Love is not sustained by feelings alone. Feelings rise and fall like the wind. True love is sustained by commitment, humility, forgiveness, sacrifice, patience, kindness, and faithfulness. Those qualities are not developed overnight. They are formed through surrender. They are formed through obedience. They are formed in seasons when you feel unseen but continue trusting me anyway. That is exactly what I have been teaching you. Every day you chose not to give up, your character became stronger. Every day you trusted me without visible answers, your faith grew deeper. Every day you resisted becoming bitter after disappointment, your heart became softer instead of harder. This hidden work has been more valuable than you realize. People often celebrate visible blessings. Heaven celebrates transformed hearts. Because a transformed heart can carry blessings without allowing those blessings to become idols. I never wanted another person to become your source. I have always wanted them to become your companion while I remain your foundation. When I am your foundation, disappointment cannot destroy you. When I am your foundation, rejection cannot define you. When I am your foundation, loneliness does not become your identity. Instead, every season becomes another opportunity to know me more deeply. And the deeper you know me, the more clearly you will recognize the difference between what merely looks good and what truly comes from my hand. That discernment is one of the greatest gifts I have been developing within you, because not everything attractive is beneficial, and not every opportunity is part of my perfect will. So continue listening with an open heart, because there is an even deeper reason I allowed this season of singleness, and once you understand it, you will begin to see that what felt like waiting has actually been one of the greatest demonstrations of my love for you. One of the greatest misunderstandings about waiting is the belief that nothing is happening. You have looked at your life and thought the days were passing without purpose. You counted birthdays, holidays, quiet evenings, and moments when your heart longed for companionship. You assumed those moments were empty because they did not contain what you were asking for. But I tell you this, the seasons you called empty have been overflowing with my work. I have never stopped working in your life. Even when you could not see my hand, I was shaping your future. Even when my voice seemed quiet, my plans were moving forward. Even when you thought everything had come to a standstill, heaven was not standing still. Listen carefully. There is a difference between waiting and being abandoned. Waiting with me is never wasted. Waiting without me feels hopeless. That is why I have continually invited you to seek my presence instead of chasing your own timetable. The enemy wanted you to believe that your value decreased because you remained single. He whispered lies into your mind. He told you that everyone else was moving ahead while you were falling behind. He convinced you that something must be wrong with you. He wanted you to question my goodness. He wanted you to doubt my promises. Because if he could make you lose hope, he could keep you from recognizing the beautiful future I have been preparing. But I have come today to silence those lies. Your worth has never been determined by whether someone chose you. Your worth was settled long before another person ever noticed you. You are valuable because I created you with purpose. You are loved because my love does not depend on human approval. You are seen because my eyes have never left you. When you truly understand this, desperation begins to lose its power. You stop chasing people who refuse to value you. You stop begging for attention that was never meant for you. You stop lowering your standards simply because you are tired of waiting. Instead, you begin to walk with confidence. Not because everything has changed around you, but because everything has begun to change within you. That inner transformation is more powerful than you realize. Many people ruin their future because they become impatient in the present. They confuse loneliness with love. They mistake excitement for peace. They allow temporary emotions to make permanent decisions. Then they wonder why their hearts become heavier instead of lighter. I wanted something different for you. I wanted your decisions to be guided by wisdom instead of fear. I wanted your heart to recognize peace instead of merely reacting to emotion. Because peace is one of the ways I guide my children. Fear pushes. Desperation rushes. Pressure demands. But my spirit leads with peace. If you have to abandon your convictions just to keep someone, that is not the path I prepared for you. If you must constantly pretend to be someone you are not just to receive acceptance, that is not the love I desire for you. If you lose your peace every day simply trying to hold a relationship together, stop and ask yourself whether you are holding on to something I never asked you to carry. Remember this truth. Anything that pulls you farther away from me can never bring you closer to the life I have planned for you. The greatest relationship you will ever build is the one you have with me. Everything else flows from that foundation. When your heart is secure in my love, you are no longer controlled by the fear of being alone. You begin to understand that solitude and loneliness are not the same. Loneliness says, I have no one. But when you walk with me, you are never alone. Solitude becomes a place where your faith grows. It becomes the place where your character is refined. It becomes the place where your purpose becomes clearer than ever before. Many of the deepest lessons I teach cannot be learned in crowded places. They are learned in quiet moments. They are learned when you choose prayer instead of panic. They are learned when you open your heart to me instead of closing it because of disappointment. They are learned when you trust me enough to believe that my plans are better than your own. That kind of faith changes a person forever. It is easy to trust me when every prayer is answered immediately. But lasting faith is built when you continue believing even while you are waiting. That is the kind of faith I have been developing inside you. A faith that is not based on circumstances. A faith that is not shaken by delays. A faith that does not disappear when life becomes difficult. Because the future I have prepared for you requires a heart that knows how to trust me in every season. The blessings I give are not meant to replace your dependence on me. They are meant to increase your gratitude toward me. Never forget that. Some people receive the very thing they prayed for, yet slowly drift away from my presence because they begin depending on the gift instead of the giver. I never wanted that to happen to you. That is why I have been teaching you to treasure my presence before receiving the promise. When my presence becomes your greatest desire, every other blessing finds its proper place. You stop making relationships your identity. You stop making success your identity. You stop making other people's opinions your identity. Instead, you discover who you truly are through me. And once you know who you are, no one can easily deceive you into becoming someone you were never created to be. This is why your season of singleness has been far more significant than you imagined. It has not only been a season of waiting, it has been a season of becoming. You have been becoming stronger. You have been becoming wiser. You have been becoming more discerning. You have been becoming more compassionate. Most importantly, you have been becoming more like the person I created you to be. And that work inside your heart is preparing you for blessings that require maturity, faithfulness, and unwavering trust. So stay with me a little longer because there is another hidden reason I kept you in this season. One that reaches far beyond relationships and reveals how I have been preparing you to fulfill the purpose for which you were created. Many people have believed that the greatest blessing they could receive is a relationship. But I tell you that the greatest blessing is to know me deeply. Every other blessing flows from that relationship. If you gain the whole world but never learn to trust my heart, you will always search for something more. But when you truly know me, even the hardest seasons begin to carry a peace that the world cannot explain. That is why I have been inviting you into a deeper walk with me. Not because I wanted to take something away from you, but because I wanted to give you something that could never be taken away. Listen carefully. The enemy does not fear someone who merely speaks about faith. He fears someone who has learned to trust me through suffering. He fears someone who continues to worship even when the answers have not yet appeared. He fears someone who refuses to become bitter after disappointment. Because that kind of faith cannot easily be shaken. That kind of heart becomes a light in dark places. And that is the kind of person I have been forming you to become. You have wondered why certain seasons felt unusually difficult. It was not because I had abandoned you. It was because pressure reveals what comfort often hides. When precious metal is refined, the fire does not destroy it. The fire removes what does not belong. In the same way, I have allowed certain trials to expose fear, pride, insecurity, impatience, and misplaced expectations. Not to condemn you, but to free you from everything that could keep you from becoming who I created you to be. Every challenge became an invitation to trust instead of worry, an invitation to forgive instead of holding on to offense, an invitation to hope instead of giving in to despair, an invitation to believe my promises even when your circumstances seem to tell a different story. Each time you accepted that invitation, something inside you became stronger. Perhaps you did not notice it at first. Growth is often quiet. A tree does not become strong overnight. Its roots grow deep long before anyone admires its branches. In the same way, I have been growing roots within you. Roots of faith, roots of patience, roots of humility, roots of wisdom. Roots that will keep you standing when unexpected storms arrive. Many people admire visible success. Few appreciate the hidden process that makes lasting success possible. You have been living in that hidden process. While others noticed only what you lacked, I saw everything you were becoming. While others measured your life by outward appearances, I measured the transformation taking place within your heart. Never believe that I only care about what people can see. I look far beyond appearances. I see motives. I see desires. I see the quiet decisions you make when no one else is watching. I see every time you choose integrity over compromise. Every time you choose truth over convenience. Every time you choose kindness when bitterness would have been easier. Those choices matter more than you know. Heaven celebrates the victories that the world often overlooks. When you resisted temptation, I saw it. When you chose honesty even though no one would have known the difference, I saw it. When you encouraged someone while carrying your own pain, I saw it. When you continued praying after feeling discouraged, I saw it. None of those moments were forgotten. Not one prayer has disappeared. Not one tear has been wasted. Not one act of obedience has gone unnoticed. I have been weaving every moment together into a purpose far greater than you can currently imagine. There is something else you must understand. Sometimes you have prayed for me to remove your loneliness, while I have been teaching you how to experience my presence. Those are not the same thing. My presence does not depend on your circumstances. It does not disappear when life becomes difficult. It does not leave because people leave. It remains. Always. The more you recognize my presence, the less power loneliness has over your heart. You begin to realize that peace is not found in having everything you want. Peace is found in knowing that I am with you in every season. That truth changes the way you live. It changes the way you wait. It changes the way you pray. Instead of asking, when will this season end? You begin asking, Lord, what are you teaching me today? That question opens your heart to wisdom. It transforms waiting into worship. It transforms disappointment into growth. It transforms uncertainty into trust. This is why I have not rushed your journey. I have been teaching you lessons that cannot be learned any other way. The wisdom you are gaining now will protect you later. The discernment you are developing now will guide you later. The strength you are building now will sustain you later. Nothing in this season has been meaningless. Even the days that seemed ordinary have been shaping extraordinary character. Even the moments that felt insignificant have been preparing you for greater responsibility. Do not underestimate what I can accomplish through ordinary days lived in faithful obedience. A single act of trust today can change the direction of your future. A single decision to obey my voice can spare you years of regret. That is why I continue calling you closer. Not because I desire to keep blessings from you, but because I desire to prepare you to receive them with wisdom, gratitude, and unwavering faith. So keep listening, because I am about to reveal another truth that many overlook. The connection between your season of waiting and the purpose I placed upon your life before you ever took your first breath. Before you ever understood what your purpose was, I already knew every step of your journey. Before you spoke your first prayer, I had already seen every victory, every disappointment, every moment of joy, and every season of waiting. Nothing has surprised me. Nothing has caught me unprepared. I have always known where I was leading you, even when you felt like you were wandering without direction. That is why I need you to stop believing that your life has been delayed. A delay suggests that something has gone wrong. But my plans do not fail. My timing does not break. My wisdom does not make mistakes. When you cannot understand my timing, trust my character. I have never stopped being faithful. Listen carefully. There were moments when you thought you had missed your opportunity. You watched doors close. You watched people move on. You watched dreams seem to slip through your fingers. You wondered if you had waited too long. You feared that perhaps you had made too many mistakes for your future to ever look different. But I want you to hear me clearly. Nothing that I have prepared for you can be stolen by the passing of time. No one can take what I have truly ordained for your life. People may leave. Plans may change. Circumstances may shift. but my purpose for you remains secure in my hands. This is why I kept calling you back to me. Not because I wanted to remind you of your failures, but because I wanted to remind you of my promises. The world tells you to trust your feelings. I tell you to trust my word. Feelings can change in a single moment. My truth never changes. Some mornings you felt hopeful. Other mornings you questioned everything. Yet my faithfulness remained exactly the same. I was with you on your strongest days. I was with you on your weakest nights. I was with you when your prayers were filled with confidence. I was with you when all you could offer were tears. There has never been a moment when I stopped walking beside you, even when you believed you were walking alone. Sometimes I allowed you to experience the silence because I wanted you to learn that my presence is not measured by your emotions. Faith grows when you choose to believe me even when your feelings try to convince you otherwise. That kind of faith becomes unshakable. It is no longer dependent upon circumstances. It no longer rises and falls with every disappointment. It becomes anchored in who I am. And an anchored soul cannot easily be swept away by the storms of life. Many people are searching for certainty in tomorrow, but I have been inviting you to trust me today. Tomorrow will take care of itself. The future is already in my hands. Your assignment is to remain faithful where you are. Do not overlook today's obedience while worrying about tomorrow's blessings. Every act of faithfulness matters. Every quiet prayer matters. Every decision to honor me matters. Every moment you choose forgiveness instead of resentment matters. Every time you choose integrity instead of compromise, heaven sees it. The world often rewards what is loud. I reward what is faithful. Never think that your quiet obedience has gone unnoticed. There are victories taking place in your spirit that are far greater than the applause of people. You have been learning to trust me when no one was watching. You have been learning to obey me when it was inconvenient. You have been learning to seek me without demanding immediate results. Those lessons are preparing you for responsibilities you cannot yet imagine. If I entrusted greater blessings to a heart that had not first learned faithfulness, those blessings could become burdens. But when your heart has been shaped by my wisdom, you will carry my blessings with humility instead of pride. You will carry influence without forgetting who gave it to you. You will carry success without allowing it to replace your dependence on me. You will carry love without making another person your source of life. That is why your season has been so important. It has been teaching you to build your life upon a foundation that cannot be shaken. Storms will come. Unexpected disappointments will come. Moments of uncertainty will come. But a life built upon my truth remains standing. Not because life becomes easy, but because my strength becomes your strength. When others are overwhelmed by fear, you will remember my promises. When others lose hope, you will remember my faithfulness. When others panic because they cannot see the future, you will remember that I already hold the future in my hands. This is the confidence I have been developing within you. Not confidence in yourself alone, but confidence in the one who has never failed. The more you understand this, the less you will fear what lies ahead. You will no longer chase after every opportunity simply because it appears attractive. You will wait for my peace. You will seek my wisdom. You will recognize that the greatest opportunities are not always the fastest ones. They are the ones that align with my perfect will. So do not become discouraged because your journey has looked different. Different does not mean forgotten. Different often means prepared for something others have not yet imagined. Stay with me because there is still another truth you need to understand. A truth about how this season has been shaping not only your future relationships, but your calling, your influence, and the lives you will one day impact in ways you cannot yet see. Now I want you to see the full picture. From the beginning, this season was never only about whether you would get married. It was never only about finding the right person. It was about becoming the person I created you to be. Purpose always comes before position. Character always comes before influence. Faithfulness always comes before greater responsibility. That is my way. Had I placed you into the next season before completing this work within you, you might have enjoyed the blessing for a moment, but you would have struggled to sustain it. I do not desire temporary joy for my children. I desire lasting peace. The world celebrates what happens quickly. I celebrate what lasts. Listen carefully. Some of the greatest victories in your life have not yet happened because I have been building a foundation that can carry them. A strong foundation is rarely admired while it is being built. People notice the finished house. They celebrate the beautiful walls. They compliment the roof. Very few appreciate the hidden work beneath the surface. Yet without the foundation, everything else eventually collapses. You have been living in the foundation season. The days that seemed ordinary. The prayers that felt unanswered. The lessons that seemed difficult. The tears that no one else understood. I have used every one of them to make you stronger. Nothing has been wasted. Not your heartbreak. Not your disappointment. Not your waiting. Not even the mistakes you brought to me with a repentant heart. I am able to bring beauty from what once caused you pain. I am able to redeem what you thought was lost. I am able to restore what seemed impossible. That is who I am. So stop believing the lie that your best days are behind you. They are not. Stop believing that you have fallen too far behind everyone else. You have not. Stop believing that I have forgotten your prayers. I have not. Every prayer has been heard. Every tear has been seen. Every moment of obedience has been remembered. Even now, while you are listening to these words, I am still working in ways your eyes cannot yet see. Do not measure my faithfulness by your circumstances. Measure it by my unchanging character. Have I not carried you through every season? Have I not strengthened you when you thought you could not go on? Have I not provided for you time and time again? Have I not remained faithful even when your faith was weak? Then why would I stop now? I am the same yesterday, today, and forever. What I begin, I complete. What I promise, I fulfill. What I plant, I bring to harvest in its proper season. So release your fear. Release your frustration. Release your need to control every outcome. Place it all into my hands. Trust that my plans are higher than yours. Trust that my timing is wiser than yours. Trust that my love for you has never changed. You are not waiting because I have forgotten you. You are waiting because I love you enough to prepare you. One day you will look back over this season, and instead of asking, "Why did I have to wait?" you will say, "Thank you, Lord, for not giving me what I wanted before I was ready." You will understand that my delays were not denials. They were demonstrations of my wisdom. You will see that every closed door protected you. Every season of silence strengthened you. Every lonely moment drew you closer to my heart. And when that day comes, your testimony will encourage others who are standing where you once stood. They will see my faithfulness through your story. They will find hope because you chose to trust me. They will discover that waiting with me is never wasted. So today, make a decision. Stop looking at your season through the eyes of fear. Look at it through the eyes of faith. Do not allow disappointment to write the story of your life. Allow my truth to write it. Walk forward with confidence. Walk forward with peace. Walk forward knowing that I am before you, beside you, and behind you. Nothing can separate you from my love. Nothing can cancel the purpose I have placed upon your life. Nothing can stop what I have ordained when you continue to walk faithfully with me. My beloved, lift up your eyes. Your story is not ending in loneliness. It is not ending in regret. It is not ending in disappointment. Your story is moving toward my perfect purpose, and every step you take in faith brings you closer to what I have prepared for you. Now let us pray together. Heavenly Father, thank you for every person listening to this message today. Thank you for loving them even in the seasons they did not understand. Remind them that they are never forgotten, never abandoned, and never beyond your reach. Heal every wounded heart. Restore every broken hope. Replace fear with faith, anxiety with peace, and confusion with wisdom. Teach them to trust your timing above their own understanding. Give them the strength to walk faithfully, even when the path ahead is not fully visible. Let your presence become their greatest comfort and your truth become their firm foundation. Prepare them for every blessing you have ordained, and help them never settle for less than your perfect will. Fill their hearts with hope, courage, patience, and unwavering confidence in your promises. May they leave this moment knowing that you are working all things together for good, and may their lives bring glory to you in every season. Amen. If this message has spoken to your heart, hold these words close in the days ahead. Remember that your waiting has purpose, your life has meaning, and my love for you has never failed. Continue to seek me, trust me, and walk with me, for I am faithful to complete the good work I have begun in you.